you've been sold a lie. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy praised for leading countless people toward inner peace and resilience, might actually be the world's greatest scam. Sounds shocking, right? But what if I told you that much of what you've heard about Stoicism today isn't what the Stoics intended at all? Before you dismiss this philosophy altogether, let's unravel how something so profound has been twisted into something it was never meant to be. In modern times, Stoicism has been repackaged into quick-fix solutions for success, masking its true purpose, mastering the self, and achieving inner freedom, not material success. In this video, we'll uncover how Stoicism's core values have been misinterpreted, why some see it as a scam, and how you can tap into its real power. Whether you're someone who feels Stoicism hasn't worked for you, or you're just curious about the truth, this video will shed light on the deeper wisdom beneath the surface. By the end, you'll not only understand the real power of Stoicism, but also how some have distorted it for personal gain. Let's set the record straight. The origins of Stoicism. Stoicism, born over 2,000 years ago in ancient Greece and Rome, was never about wealth, fame, or quick success. Instead, it was designed to help individuals cultivate inner resilience, detach from the uncontrollable aspects of life, and focus on mastering their own minds. Founded by Zeno of Citium, Stoicism offered a practical guide for living a life aligned with nature and reason. Key figures like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus didn't view Stoicism as a method for gaining material success. For them, it was about personal virtue and becoming indifferent to external circumstances. Whether facing wealth or poverty, power or powerlessness, they believed freedom came from within. Stoicism wasn't about denying life's pleasures, but rather about not being controlled by them, the core teachings. At its core, Stoicism revolves around four virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These principles aren't about suppressing emotions or ignoring life's joys, as modern interpretations often suggest. Stoicism teaches that we should experience life fully, but remain indifferent to what we cannot control. The philosophy encourages us to focus on what truly matters: our thoughts, decisions, and actions. The aim is to live virtuously, act wisely, and maintain emotional resilience in the face of adversity. Unfortunately, in today's world, these teachings have often been simplified and distorted, focusing more on using Stoicism as a tool for personal gain rather than personal growth. This misinterpretation is where Stoicism's true essence gets lost, turning an empowering philosophy into something it was never meant to be. How Stoicism became watered down. In today's world, Stoicism has often been reduced to surface-level catchphrases like, "just tough it out," or "don't show emotions." This oversimplified version is a far cry from the nuanced philosophy practiced by the ancients. Modern interpretations frequently strip away the rich context and complexity that Stoic thinkers such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus emphasized. Instead of focusing on personal growth through wisdom and virtue, Stoicism is portrayed as nothing more than emotional suppression and a cold, detached mindset. This dumbing down of Stoicism has contributed to the idea that it's a scam. When people follow these shallow teachings, expecting instant inner peace or emotional invulnerability, they often find themselves more frustrated and unfulfilled than before. Naturally, they assume Stoicism is the problem, failing to recognize that what they've adopted is only a fragment of the true philosophy. The result? Stoicism gets labeled as ineffective, when in reality, it's the misunderstanding of its principles that leads to disappointment. The Stoic life hack culture. The self-help industry has played a significant role in the distortion of Stoicism. Many modern self-help gurus cherry-pick Stoic teachings to promote life hacks, reducing the philosophy to a quick-fix solution for any problem. Instead of understanding Stoicism as a lifelong practice of self-mastery and resilience, it's marketed as a shortcut to success or emotional control. This approach not only distorts Stoicism, but also sets unrealistic expectations. When people try to apply Stoic hacks without grasping the deeper philosophical context, they feel let down. Stoicism is not a magic formula for instant happiness or financial success, and presenting it as such leads people to falsely believe the philosophy is flawed. A misguided follower. John, a young professional struggling with stress and anxiety, came across popular Stoic advice online. He believed that by following these Stoic teachings, such as avoiding emotions and toughing it out, he could gain complete emotional mastery. For a while, he suppressed his feelings and pretended nothing could faze him. However, this emotional disconnect only worsened his anxiety, leaving him more lost and disconnected from himself than before. Disillusioned, John began to think Stoicism was a scam, assuming that the promises of inner peace and emotional strength were overblown. The truth is, John had misunderstood Stoicism. Instead of embracing the full spectrum of Stoic philosophy, which involves accepting and learning from emotions, he adopted a distorted version that ignored its depth. Stoicism wasn't the problem, his interpretation was. By taking only the surface teachings, John missed the true wisdom that Stoicism offers, leading to his frustration and disillusionment. Real Stoicism versus popular Stoicism. The difference between true Stoicism and the watered-down version many people follow today is stark. Real Stoicism, as practiced by ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, was about cultivating virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. It teaches us to accept the unpredictability of life and to focus on controlling our reactions rather than external events. This is in sharp contrast to the modern misinterpretation, which often reduces Stoicism to emotional suppression and avoidance of discomfort. True Stoicism encourages us to be fully engaged in life, using our emotions to understand our inner world and improve our character. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Stoicism is about mastering oneself, not turning into an emotionless machine. The popular version, which oversimplifies Stoicism into a grin-and-bear-it mindset, misses the deeper purpose of the philosophy: to live in harmony with nature, accept the ups and downs of life, and become the best version of yourself. How Marcus Aurelius embraced emotions. Marcus Aurelius, despite being one of the most powerful men in the world, faced immense challenges, from wars to personal losses. As a Stoic, he didn't run from his emotions or suppress them. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his feelings of frustration, grief, and exhaustion. He wrote about facing the death of loved ones, the burdens of leadership, and the moral challenges of ruling an empire. Rather than suppressing these emotions, he acknowledged them and used them to guide his actions. By recognizing his feelings and examining their sources, he was able to strengthen his character and find inner peace amidst the chaos of life. This contrasts with the modern view of Stoicism, where emotions are often seen as weaknesses to be pushed aside. Marcus understood that emotions are natural and should be embraced, not suppressed, to grow as a person. How to practice true Stoicism. To practice true Stoicism, start by focusing on what you can control. When you encounter a challenging situation, remind yourself that while you can't control the outcome, you can control your reaction to it. This simple shift in perspective can reduce anxiety and help you act from a place of strength. Next, develop a habit of daily reflection. Ask yourself, what did I do well today and where can I improve? This helps cultivate self-awareness and personal growth. Finally, understand that emotions aren't your enemy. Stoicism teaches that emotions are signals, pointing you to what's important in your life. Instead of running from them, use them as tools to guide your decisions and improve your character. By moving beyond surface-level interpretations of Stoicism, you can embrace the philosophy's true depth and unlock a more peaceful, resilient way of living. Stoicism as a tool for control. In modern workplaces and self-help circles, Stoicism has often been twisted into a tool for manipulation and control. Some companies push Stoic ideas like "don't complain" or "just focus on what you can control" as a way to silence employees and discourage them from voicing legitimate concerns. This distorted version of Stoicism encourages passivity, making individuals more compliant by suggesting that any form of dissent is unstoic. However, this is a gross misinterpretation of the philosophy. True Stoicism is about wisdom and courage, not blind submission. Stoics understand that while we can't control external events, we can and should control how we respond to injustice. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics never advocated passivity in the face of wrongs. Instead, they believed in standing up for what is virtuous and just, choosing your battles wisely, and facing adversity with resilience. Manipulating Stoic principles to suppress critical thinking and silence complaints goes against the very core of the philosophy. The corporate Stoic trap. Consider Lisa, a hard-working employee in a large corporation. Whenever she voiced concerns about her overwhelming workload or unfair treatment, her boss would tell her to be stoic. He'd remind her not to complain and to focus on what she could control. At first, Lisa tried to comply, thinking this would help her manage stress better. But over time, she realized that her boss wasn't encouraging real stoicism. Instead, he was using it as a tool to avoid addressing her legitimate concerns. Lisa's boss twisted stoicism into a weapon for control, promoting passivity instead of self-discipline. She came to understand that true stoicism doesn't mean accepting injustice. It means having the courage to stand firm on her principles and address wrongs when necessary. Stoicism wasn't meant to silence people, but to empower them to choose their responses with wisdom. How to avoid this trap? If you find stoicism being used to justify avoiding action or addressing injustice, question it. Real stoicism empowers you to act according to your values. If someone tells you to be stoic, to dismiss your concerns, recognize that they're misusing the philosophy to control, not uplift you. Stoicism requires long-term practice. One of the biggest misconceptions about Stoicism is that it can provide instant solutions to life's challenges. This misunderstanding leads many to feel that Stoicism is a scam when they don't experience immediate results. But Stoicism is far from a quick fix. It's a lifelong practice that demands patience, reflection, and continuous effort. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all emphasize the importance of ongoing personal development, not quick wins. Think of Stoicism like training your mind, similar to how you would train your body. Building physical strength takes time and consistent work, and so does building mental resilience. You can't expect to become a master of Stoic philosophy overnight. Real Stoicism encourages daily reflection on what you can control and how you can act virtuously. As with any meaningful practice, the more you put into it, the greater the long-term rewards. A Stoic's journey. Take the story of Sarah, for example. When she first discovered Stoicism, she thought it would offer her a quick solution to all her anxieties and frustrations. She began practicing Stoic exercises like journaling and reflecting on her emotions, expecting immediate changes. However, over the weeks and months, she realized that Stoicism wasn't about overnight transformation. Instead, what she experienced was a gradual, profound shift in how she viewed life. Situations that once made her anxious or upset no longer had the same power over her. She found herself focusing more on what she could control and letting go of what she couldn't. Over time, Sarah discovered that true Stoicism builds mental strength in small, cumulative ways. It wasn't a quick fix, but it was a powerful tool for lasting change. Practical application. Start small. If you're new to Stoicism, begin with something simple. Start by journaling each day, reflecting on what's within your control and what isn't. Focus on making small improvements in your mindset, and over time, you'll notice the gradual transformation that Stoicism offers. Stoicism isn't a scam. It's simply misunderstood and at times misused in modern contexts. The real power of Stoicism lies in its depth, embracing your emotions, building inner virtue, and rejecting the allure of quick fixes. When practiced properly, it becomes a lifelong journey of self-mastery, resilience, and clarity. If you apply Stoic principles as they were originally intended, they have the potential to transform your life in profound ways. Don't let the surface-level pop culture versions of Stoicism fool you. Instead, challenge yourself to dig deeper into this ancient philosophy and discover its true wisdom. The next time you hear Stoicism mentioned, ask yourself, is this the authentic philosophy or just a watered-down version? By understanding the difference, you can unlock the full power of Stoicism and let it reshape how you approach life's challenges. For more on how to harness Stoicism's timeless wisdom, subscribe now and dive into a journey that will change your life for the better.